Feels great to be here.
I'm about 100 excited. Never fished for barra, but it feels like there's the barra got a bite today.
We know Hobie's going to catch 1.8 minimum, so we need probably 3 barra to be safe, and 4 would be unbeatable. But
that'd just be magical for me and Dean to get a couple of barra each today, and it'll really solidify how the tournament's gone and how the series has gone for us. It'd be a great way to end it, I think.
All right, you ready?
Let's do it.
Let's go.
We're fishing against the best out there. Someone's going to win, someone's going to lose.
Everybody wants to win, you know. It's not that you want to see someone lose, you want to win.
They're the best at what they do, and you want to beat the best.
Oh, yes.
That is what fishing's all about.
Well, here we are in the final round, round 4 of AFC Series 14, and this is a wild card round. After round 2, both teams were given the choice of which venue they wanted to fish in round 4 out of the 3 dams in the area: Kinchant, Teemburra and Eungella. And Team BCF made the bold call at that point to come here to Teemburra and chase a barra. As it's turned out, it's largely academic, because after round 3, the BCF guys are so far ahead they can't be beaten. But I think it's now about trying to get a barra for their rookie angler, Liam Carruthers. Let's see how they fare.
I'm a little bit nervous. Our window of opportunity will be very small here, similar with Eungella. So I've got a couple of ideas of where I want to fish, so we'll start in each one and see if there's bait, and we've got the sounder on, so see if we can watch stuff swimming past. And if you don't, I think you've got to quickly make that decision to try another spot. I'm nervous for 2 reasons. Nervous because I want to catch a fish, and nervous because if I do, it's not like you can just wind it in.
Every cast, you know, you're only one cast away from a potential metre-plus fish, so it's pretty hard not to be fairly excited and at the same time anxious.
Yep. Little one, little one. Get rid of that net, get rid of that net. You ready? Put the net down. It's coming to you. Yeah! Whew.
What a cool looking fish.
That's tiny, but that's a start.
All you needed me is to lose my balance.
Well, it was worth it now. That's probably the smallest barramundi in history. But it's definitely longer than any sooty we've caught. So now the Hobie boys have to catch a barramundi to beat the biggest fish. So we can call him 58.
Nice. Nice. Cool looking fish, man.
Yeah. Hello.
Hang on, I gotta touch it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Touch the barra.
Get him back in the water. Such a cool creature. Cool creature. Well, monkey's gone. Can't feel him. Beautiful.
Well, just half an hour into fishing in round 4 here at Teemburra, and the BCF boys have managed to catch a barra. Not one of the giants that this area is renowned for, but at 58 centimetres, still a nice little fish, and they're smiling.
He wrecked my lure. When I jumped on him, I just had to put my rod down and get that one to the boat as quick as possible before it jumped off. Because as much as we are here to enjoy them and to play them, there's still tournaments. They've got to be in here.
Go to a new spot and see how we go. Nothing we're doing wrong. Dean got a fish early, and every cast I make I feel like I'm going to get a fish, so it's just a matter of patience.
But you can't overcomplicate it and drive everywhere because...
Yeah, 100%.
Ah, it's off, it's off, it's off, it's off. Jumped. Put a cast in, wasn't the best cast, but as I went to lift it up, it ate it straight away. And then spat it out as quickly as it took it in. Just looking at reasons to make me want to stay here.
Well, after that first fish, things went quiet for Team BCF and they made a move onto this point. Dean hooked a fish on his very first cast, a nice chunky little barra, jumped it off, and since then it's been very quiet. This is pretty typical of barra fishing.
I didn't expect to be easy, and when we made the decision we thought we could end up donating, but we've avoided that. So that's good, but as with most barra fishing, your hook up to land ratio is not the best, and at the moment we're sitting at 50%. I'd rather increase that a bit more in our favour. Yeah, that's the eagle's nest. It's a better one, this one. Alright, you ready? Get ready. Set it lower so I can come into you. Right. Oh, come on. Right. Yes.
Well done, mate. Well done. Awesome.
It's a tiny fish again. Oh, incredible. I was starting to lose faith. Oh, I'm shaking.
You reckon that could be the same fish that hit you 3 times? Or?
No, I've jumped off 2 fish now or 3 fish now?
2.
Jumped off 2, landed 2. Oh. So back at 50-50 odds. So he's only, you can say he's over 63, so he's 64, but still shaking. See you, buddy. Look at that thing. Incredible fish. Hey, got my finger. I went from being heartbroken a minute ago because I jumped off my second fish and I just couldn't believe it. But as Liam said, get back out there and we got a bite, so that's a really good thing to get a bite.
Yep.
He's on. Oh yes. Oh yes. Yes. Rod down, rod down, rod down, rod down. Yep, rod down. That's it, you're right, you're right. Where's your line?
He's on
Line,
the timber.
line,
He's
line.
on the timber.
Is he on the tree?
Yep.
Where's mine? Is he on the other side of the tree?
Yep.
Right, hang on.
What do I do, just keep pressure?
Just hold pressure, yep. Yep, keep whining, keep whining.
Alright, here he comes.
You're right with spot lock now. Just keep your rod tip low. Let him go under the boat if he has to. Yep, under the boat, under the boat. You're right. Take a breath, take a breath. This is gonna be the biggest one. Take a breath. You're right, mate, you're right. Oh yes, look at this thing.
Yes!
Hold on.
Barramundi. Yes! Thanks, mate. So good. 67.
Well done.
Thank you. You have made my day, fish.
So Team BCF have come back to the spot where they originally started this morning, and almost straight away Dean hooked a fish and jumped it off. A few casts later he hooked another one and landed it, and they'd no sooner finished measuring that one and recording it when Liam pinned his first ever barramundi. He's a pretty excited lad. So they've got 3 on their record card, 1 more to go for their 4.
Now let's get a big one.
We just made it very, very difficult for Hobie to beat us. So we've gone from wondering whether we'd made the wrong decision and looking at having 2 points to now we could possibly take full 4 again. But you never want to count your chickens.
It's weird, it's definitely weird getting a massive clunk setting a hook and seeing a fish cartwheel 40 metres from your lure and then it looking like a crocodile when it hits the water. It's cool sort of stuff. So
what we're targeting at the moment is there's a long running point that comes out here, and that on a point it breaks up the lily pads, and because the sun's high we know barra move around a lot. We're sort of playing on the fact that they probably travel through the lily pads, and if you get to a point it's a junction where they have to sort of cross in and go through, but their cover is also a bit broken up, so instead of them being 20 foot in there where we can't reach them, we actually get to put the lure in between the broken lily pads into the area where we think they're going to be.
Yep.
Other side.
Jesus.
Ready. In the net. Yeah. Woo! Look at that.
There's a round, mate.
There's the round.
It's unreal.
70. It's our biggest. Not a massive fish, but for daytime when we had it as tough as we have, that's pretty cool to catch a 70 centimetre barramundi. It's the chromo killer. Come on, buddy. Hey, I got my thumb. Oh, there's a drenching.
Well, they managed to do it. With just an hour of fishing left in the final round of AFC Series 14, Team BCF have managed to put 4 barramundi on the measuring mat, their full bag. They're very, very happy lads. They made the right decision coming to Teemburra in this wildcard round.
That's not a massive barramundi in any way, but it was a couple of centimetres bigger than the last one that I landed, but it's so much heavier fish and a deeper fish. But it's more the fact that how much it meant and how many I've dropped that I just took my time. I never back my drag off for any fish, and I backed my drag off really bad. I actually told Liam if I hear his drag, he's getting a paddle in the back of the head. But we needed it. I think we played it pretty smartly. He was hooked in the mouth, but inside the mouth is very soft, and it's not a very good spot to hook him, especially when they got the power and they do that shake, but it's in. That's 4. The other point, once they've been fighting them for a long time, if they're hooked in the mouth, they really destroy your leader material. So it's still probably strong, but if he was to rub on that for another 5 or 10 minutes, if that's a bigger fish, you really risk, if you're still going heavy, losing that fish. So that's another reason to back off. Go back to the first stop, finish the session there. We haven't seen any signs here that there's actually moving fish or something happening. The bites that we have had here have been really tight to the lily pads and almost on the exact same cast, so it might be that there was only that 1 or 2 fish in there. So we'll go back there where we think it's a bit more of a highway, and we're just sort of casting down the side of it and maybe get one more.
What Dean said. This has been real stressful for Dean because I'm the rookie. This has been like the fishing trip of a lifetime. Non-boater life rules, man.
BCF, Boys can fish.
He'll get a fish now because I missed that caster. He's got it right in there too. Yeah, told ya.
I missed it.
I called that off camera. Ringing the dinner bell. Yep. No. Yeah, now he's going down again.
It's only just for... Huh?
That's why I'm superstitious. Ring the dinner bell.
We're in the final minutes now of the last round of AFC Series 14, and the BCF boys behind me are a very happy team. They just landed their 5th barra for the session, and it was an upgrade. So all their fish are well over the 60 centimetre mark now. That's a great bag of barra. Those are 2 very happy lads.
Right.
Good luck, brother.
Ring the dinner bell. Oh, that's it. They're only in there. Only in that zone. I'm hot now. Well done, boss.
AFC.
We did it.
That was unreal.
Finished the best way we possibly could imagine.
Yeah, see this? This is going to be gold next year.
So Liam, when you came up here, getting a barra was very much on your bucket list, and you did it today. How does that feel?
Oh, it feels amazing, Starlo. Yeah, not only just coming up here as a bucket list item, as a life bucket list item, I've always wanted to catch a barra.
So run me through what you got it on.
So I got it on a 100mm slick rig today. Dean gave me a big heads up last night, and he said, mate, just follow what we do, we'll find a bit of a pattern. He said, you will not be able to describe the hit that they give you, and it's something you got to experience. You can't describe it. It was unreal.
I think these things have probably caught more barra in the last 10 years than just about any other lure in Australia, certainly more than any other soft lure. There's just something about them, isn't there?
Obviously, it's definitely matching some sort of hatch in the fisheries up here in the impoundment. So they've got a good rolling action. You can feel it thumping through the rod.
What leader were you running?
Yeah, so I was using spin gear, and I was running a 50-pound leader today.
And was there any leader damage from that fish?
Surprisingly not. It was pretty hairy. He had me around the trees for a bit, but the braid was on the trees itself, and Dean coached me through it, and the fish come out. We got it in, I checked the leader, there was no leader damage. I checked the braid and there was no damage to it, thankfully, so I was straight back into it after we unhooked it.
Good stuff. Well, mate, congratulations on losing your barra virginity.
Thanks very much, Starlo.
Dean, it took a little while to get that first barra in the boat in today's round, but then you seemed to be in the groove and you were getting either a hit or a fish every half an hour or so. Just run us through your thinking behind how you approached it.
Well, when we said we'd made the decision to move to Teemburra, everyone's like, that's a risky decision, you know, and all these guys up here believe in the tides. Even though it's not a tidal place, they believe in the tides, which I guess sets up with the moon and so on. So they were saying, you've got this finite window at the start of your round and that's it. When it took a little while, I started getting a bit nervous, and then the first fish that I caught was small, which I wouldn't really count as a sort of a tidal affected fish, you know, you just think that's probably a resident. Then we started I went to another little spot that I know of, and I jumped one off, and then similar thing, it wasn't very big and there was nothing else through, and I thought, well, let's just go between these two and see what we can pick off. So every single cast that I did, I made sure I put where I just caught those two fish.
Yep.
So,
and your lure of choice was a slick rig. Tell us about that.
You got to stick to the staple stuff. I do the same in bass tournaments. There's lures that will catch fish when the pressure is on, you know. There's lures you can use all sorts of fancy things to catch fish, but there's certain things you always fall back to. And a slick rig's definitely one of those to me. It's unique to any other plastic. A normal plastic swims and just beats the tail. This thing has this real unique wobble and shake and stuff going on, and no idea what it is. Barra love it, and if you're going to be throwing at the same target over and over again, you need to throw something you're confident in, and I'd hate to imagine how many fish I've caught on one of those.
And you went for the 130?
Well, bigger bait gets more attention anyway, you know, so it's barra, a small barra like the ones we were catching, their mouth is this big. That's not a big bait.
Not at all. No, they're eating stuff like that all the time. And the old black gold, and you've dipped the tail in a bit of chartreuse dye, and of course added a stinger treble on here. Makes a big difference, doesn't it?
Well, you're always nervous in a tournament situation, and I don't like to run bass lures without stingers, so I'm definitely not running a barrel lure without a stinger. But we like to dip the tail, just you give it that extra little bit of something, you know.
Well, it certainly worked for you today. And like I said when I was talking to Liam, I just hate to think how many barra slick rigs have caught over the past 10 or 12 years in Australia. They've become the go-to soft plastic, that's for sure.
Definitely.